Hey everybody, Miasma here with another anime review. Tonight we are going to be talking about a series that really taught me not to judge a book, or I guess in this case an anime, by its cover, because tonight we're going to be talking about Princess Principal, an anime that came out in 2017 from Studio 3 Hers? 3HZ? A studio I had never heard of before, and when I looked into it, the only other thing that I knew that they had made was Dimension W, which was one of the more disappointing anime of all time, in my opinion. I'm going to be making a list of the most disappointing anime. You might see that one on there, because Dimension W, let's just say I had high hopes going in, and it didn't turn out. But Princess Principal, on the surface, just looking at it like aesthetically, I was intrigued by like the cyberpunk sort of deal with this going on, but I saw it was just a bunch of kind of cute girls doing cute things kind of show, how a lot of people describe this sort of genre, I guess, without knowing anything about it. So going into it, this was recommended to me by my kind patron Warpbait, a good friend of mine, and I gotta thank you so much, man, for recommending this. In the long run, it was a great time. Now, if you don't know anything about this anime, Princess Principal is set in this pseudo like Victorian sort of, I guess, like England type world called Albion, and Albion has been split into two sections. There's this like wall in between the kingdom and the Commonwealth, and obviously the kingdom has like all the ritzy people in power, and then the Commonwealth has everybody else. And the kingdom is run by a queen, like a royal family, and in that royal family is Princess Charlotte. Now, Princess Charlotte is obviously next in line, and she has this counterpart in the Commonwealth that actually looks a lot like her, but is actually a super duper spy named Ange. And Ange looks a lot like the princess. You actually find out that they have some backstory in the past that I don't want to spoil in this. But Ange is on this mission to sort of overtake the Charlotte's seat as next in line on the throne, obviously without the rest of the kingdom knowing, or else she wouldn't really be that great of a spy. So she wants to, supersede her, jump in her place, because they do look kind of alike. Their hair is different. That's kind of about it. And restore what was lost. Sort of take down the kingdom for the sake of the Commonwealth. A noble goal, but it gets kind of tossed almost a little bit by the wayside in terms of character development and other sort of side missions in this anime. Because our main super spy, Ange, who's an awesome, cool, really cool character, this girl in the middle of this picture right here, she has a team. She's part of a group of spies. One of which is my favorite character in the entire show, Dorothy, the girl with the purple flower and stuff in her outfit. There, Dorothy, by the way, best girl in the show by far. I mean, there's not really a lot of competition because they all look like super duper young, but Dorothy is sort of like the a lot of the time like the smokescreen of the operations that the spies undertake in this, because she uses her like good looks to distract stupid guards and stuff like that, and it was kind of funny. The show has some pretty good humor in it, has some action. I mean, I did say it's a spy thing, but don't go into this expecting like Mission Impossible 3 or any Mission Impossible or whatever. I don't know why I went to 3, but whatever. Don't expect like that. I mean, it does have some action. There's not really a ton of like strong threat of death here. Like once in a while, it gets a little darker, but yeah, if that might bother you a tad. But let's talk more about what I did really like in this show. Oh, I skipped part of the plot. So she's going to, like I said, she's going to supersede Charlotte here. Obviously, but by misfortune, Charlotte learns of these plans going on, and Ange has, like I said, a backstory with Charlotte anyway. And it turns out that Charlotte has her own plan in mind. She doesn't like how Albion is divided at this point. She doesn't like how the kingdom treats the outsiders from the Commonwealth. She wants to change everything for the greater good. So she wants to supersede her own, the queen of her mother, the queen, and make everything right and just, as it were. So, seeing as though they kind of have a common goal in mind, they're sort of going to use each other to stay alive and push their plan forward. So, the rest of the show goes along with them on various spy missions, meeting several different characters, both from the spies from the Commonwealth and some of Charlotte's friends from the kingdom itself, as they try to fix the world, as it were. So that aside, let's talk about what I actually really liked in this. The animation was on point. I love the character designs in this. Probably my favorite thing above everything else. Because it's a spy show, and they addressed this early on, they got to change outfits pretty often. And a lot of the outfits in the show are really, really cool. It's got this cyberpunk aesthetic going on. A lot of the backgrounds look really cool. There's a lot of like mechanical kind of stuff going on. It reminded me of like the film, I think it's called Sucker Punch from a couple years ago. Although not as like lucid and dreamy as that movie could be at times. Like this is more like, I'm going to say grounded in reality, but it's not, because there's also like weird superpowers going on here. But like a cool cyberpunk aesthetic, I guess, is what they were going for, and they nailed it with this. And if you were to just say it's a cyberpunk show with cute girls in it, that'd be pretty accurate. But we get a lot of good character development and an interesting political intrigue going on here. Like I said, I really like the characters. I like Dorothy a lot. I like Angela, and Angela's pretty badass. And I like Charlotte a lot. I think Charlotte has a lot of guts doing what she's doing. It's just like she kind of I respect her decisions a lot in the show. I also really like Beatrice, who's the little girl with a red hair there. Beatrice gets a pretty sad backstory. She's actually a friend of Charlotte from the kingdom, so from the Royal Albion. Who sort of gets pulled into this just because she's Charlotte's friend, but you find out some cool stuff about her past, and it makes her a much more interesting character, even though she's just a side character. Dorothy as well, my favorite character. She gets given some backstory with her and her father, and how she, came to be a spy and stuff like that, which was really interesting. There's also Chisei, who's the girl with the red flowers in her hair, there on the far left. I was not a huge Chisei fan. She's kind of funny. She's like a samurai girl of the group. Like, I think she's literally like from like Japan. And she's sort of like the muscle, I guess. But I don't know. I found her kind of annoying and had like the least amount of development. I don't know, in my opinion. But yeah, solid animation, solid character backstory, solid character designs. They were awesome. The music in this is really good. The OP is awesome. I didn't even listen to it for the first couple episodes because I really wanted to power through this series because I didn't think that I would like it. Big mistake. My good friend The Art of Anime, before one of our podcasts one week, which by the way you should check out every Sunday at 9 p.m., said, Miasma, you got to listen to that OP because it's pretty awesome. And while I don't think it's one of like the best OPs I've heard, it was pretty catchy early on. I did go back to skipping it in like the last like couple episodes just because I was so enthralled in the plot that was going on. But it is a really good OP. I highly recommend that you check it out on YouTube. And yeah, I liked how the a lot of the like some of the missions like plan out. Like there's this one really cool mission with, this is gonna be cliche for me, where this dude is killing people with this poisonous gas, right? And while some of it seems sort of like episodic, which kind of bugged me at times, it'll usually sort of tie into something that's gonna come like down the line. It's all sort of progressing to a certain point, which I enjoyed. Yeah, there wasn't, like I said, I kind of complained earlier about how there wasn't a lot of like threat in this. They changed that a little bit toward like the end of the series, but by then it's kind of like you're kind of like numb to that at this point, because you kind of know you kind of see how this is going to end up. Like it's sort of like a predictable finish, right? And although they do have some twists and turns in this, in fact, there's one kind of bigger one later in the series. It's not really that like jaw dropping, and it doesn't really change how I perceived the ending of the series would be. And even that's the last thing I guess I'll really like complain about is not really an ending with this. I mean, I guess it is technically an ending, but like I kind of wanted some more, and we are getting more in films, I suppose. I've heard that they're doing six films of this. I don't know how much of that is going to cover this original series, and then continue, but I'd be interested in continuing this. It's got really interesting characters, some interesting action. It's got some weird like powers with this like weird like element shit that like they develop. They don't really go into it that much, but it alters like like the gravity around you or something. It's just kind of an excuse to give Ange like the ability to like jump around all nimbly bimbly leaping from tree to tree. Okay, in fairness. But yeah, awesome character designs, good music, solid animation, very interesting political intrigue going on. I like how like they have the two different like factions of society, and I love the sense of rebellion, and it feels like a spy show. It feels like this anti-government like battle, which I thought was really cool. And you definitely wouldn't get that just from like looking at like the cover art for this. But really cool, interesting show nonetheless. I highly recommend that you guys check out Princess Principal. Thanks again to Warpbait for recommending me the show this month. It's only 12 episodes. Please give it a watch. I would say that everyone should at least stream this, if not buy it. I think if you like the first couple episodes, then definitely purchase this if you can. Otherwise, definitely stream this. I don't think this is something that you should miss out on. Just for judging it based upon how it looks, because it might surprise you. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. And if you have it in your heart, please consider donating to my Patreon. I also do a live podcast chat every Sunday night at 9 p.m. called the Sugoi Boys, and check that out as well. And if you have seen this show, let me know what you guys thought of Princess Principal down below. I want to know what you guys thought about it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And my name is Miasma, and I'm signing out.